Here's a few examples of some of the technical progress some of our athletes were able to make while working on their technique, getting more speed for the same effort, while also increasing their purpose during the session, having specific drills, specific focus points that were able to allow them to do more training by having more structure within their training. With Ben, we wanted to improve his connection and suspension during the drive. We also wanted to give him a stroke that was going to protect his back, as he'd previously struggled with back injuries. We worked on bringing the weight down lower on the foot plate, working on connection, working on activating the glutes. The results were a much longer, smoother, more dynamic drive. Again, with rowing, so much of it is about stroke length and being able to row longer and stay connected for longer. With Patrick, we wanted to improve his stroke length, and the best way that we could do that was by fixing the sequencing and the way in which he was moving into the catch. If you move into the catch in the correct order, you'll be able to drive backwards in the correct order, overall increasing your stroke length. You want to separate legs from back from arms so that overall your force arc is bigger. With Victoria, there was good posture, a good hang, a good leg drive. The only thing we needed to work on really was holding the body forwards for longer as we drive, which again extends the stroke length. If you do everything at once, your force curve is going to be shorter, then you're going to be able to apply less force within that curve. If you separate your legs and then your back, your force curve becomes wider and you can apply more force into that. With Victoria, we did lots of front end work, making sure that she was able to hold the body over as she drove the legs. We also supported this with the right weights work in the gym, in a custom program that was built around her, aimed at building more power, but also looking at some structural changes that were going to help her technique on the erg and in the boat. With Neil, he was able to apply good power once he was in and connected, but where we wanted to find the improvements was at the finish, and again, the blade work at the finish. First thing we did was fix his posture at the finish, being able to hold the body stronger. If you wiggle and move at the finish, you're going to disrupt the run of the boat. You're going to send the bows into the water, which is not what we want. We also really worked at cleaning up his blade work and more of the power that he's applying into the stroke, and improve his ability when he goes up to higher stroke rates. Now, Dylan was another super strong athlete when he came in, really good strength in the gym, but we weren't able to use all of that strength because we weren't rowing as long a stroke as possible. So one of the first things we did, we looked at rigging, changed the rigging around to fit him as best as possible. We did some work on the recovery so that we could get him more balance so that he would feel more comfortable at either end. So instead of rowing here and here, he was able to row here and there. Again, a much longer stroke length, much more power, much more speed. With Dave, he had very good compression with the seat. He was able to get very good length in the front. He was able to hang really nice and longly. He also had a very strong deadlift from before he started working with us, so we thought, how can we use that? There were some mobility issues that were preventing him from rocking forward enough, so again, we targeted some mobility work, some activation work, some gym work, loosening up his hips, getting his hips moving through the range correctly so that he could rock forward more. When you rock forward more, it means that when you come back, you've got more back to work with. So if you're upright and you slide forward like that, and then you come back here, when it comes to this part of the stroke, you can't accelerate enough. But if you get rocked forward more and then slide forward, if you drive with your legs, then when you get to here, you've got all of this back to play with, which is, again, is one of the strongest movements the human body can do. Especially if you're very good at deadlifts, this is something I recommend doing. I hope there's some take-homes for you. This is just a bit of an insight into how we do our technical analysis, how we get our rowers rowing more efficiently, getting more free speed, as I call it, more speed for the same effort.